Welcome to this daily guided meditation practice. This is the Attentive Mind. My name is Nathan, and I'll be guiding you through this meditation practice today. Find yourself a seated position. Any position works. Just find something comfortable for you. Preferably with meditation, it's nice to sit up in an upright position, like with a nice sturdy back. However, you can sit however works for you. There's no hindrance here. You just don't want to fall asleep and you don't want to fidget around too much. This is also an open eye meditation practice. And of course, if you have learned to practice with your eyes closed, feel free to do so. However, I urge you to keep your eyes open. We don't want to shut anything off here. We want to become extraordinarily clear and accepting of this moment just as it is. So if your eyes are open, go and just drop them away from the screen and look directly downward. Maybe about a foot away from your feet if you're sitting. We're not staring at a particular spot on the floor, but we're also not blurry and buzzy. We just have a nice light, clear gaze directed downward. You're in a nice, comfortable position and your eyes are open, lightly gazing down. Just sit. There's nothing to do. There's nowhere to go. There's nothing to accomplish here. We're not changing anything. Just let your body relax all by itself. Don't need to try here. The body wants to relax. So just let it. Leave alone the to-do list, all the plans, goals, expectations of the day. Just set them aside for now. And notice how you feel. Do you feel a little tired or worried, upset? Whatever it is, notice this feeling of wanting to change it, wanting to run, to feel better. And see if you can just let go of this tendency as well. Welcome everything, just as it is. Just be exactly how you are right now. Just be here. There's nowhere to go. There's nothing to do, and absolutely no one to become. Just sit. Notice how it feels that you somehow are above your chest. You're above your feet, as if you are somehow situated in your head, as if your foot is further away from you than your neck. And see if you can just drop this view, this feeling of being situated in the head, and slowly drop it to the lower belly, below the navel. Notice how this place below the navel feels. It's kind of neutral, nothing going on. But notice how when the breath comes in, this area expands all by itself. And as the breath leaves, this area contracts. Stay with it. Just notice it. And do this without any effort. And I'm probably catching you thinking right now, planning, worrying. Notice how when this happens, you're no longer attentive to the lower belly. So your task is simple. Return to the lower belly. Come back. Leave your thoughts alone. They're not yours. Simply remain with the breath. And I'm probably catching you thinking again. But instead of returning to the breath here, inquire this: what gets lost in thought? What gets lost in thought and then returns to breathing? It feels like we're doing this from our head, sitting behind our eyes and directing our attention towards the breath, but then habitually towards thinking. Can you find this center? Where does your attention come from? Trace the line of attention back with the same muscle you use to find the breath. Where does it come from? What are you? Stop planning. What hears this voice? Use your attention. What is the doer? Look for what's looking. All right, you can look at the screen. It's kind of paradoxical, of course, to hear there's nothing to do. And you may ask, well, isn't that doing something? Isn't doing nothing doing something still? This is just a trap of thinking. What is doing? What do we mean by that? We mean that I'm a separate person who has an individual will that makes decisions, and I do something. I choose. But meditation asks, what is this separate doer? What is this person trying to make themselves better all the time? Worried about this, frustrated about that, wanting to get to the future, wanting to leave the past or go back to the past. There's something here, right here, that sees the video, and it feels to be you. And we give it a name. My name's Nathan, Sally, Lauren, Heather. But what we don't actually realize is when we learn to meditate, one of the most important insights is that there is only this moment. That's all. Everything we can say about the person and the feeling of being a person is a story we construct in our head. It's a story about our past, and then a story projected in the future of what we want. Thinking is rarely present because it's always continuing in the future and then thinking about the past. And this is where the feeling of you comes from. Seems like the most obvious thing that you exist. And you're listening to a video right now trying to make yourself better or learn meditation. But when you turn the view back, like you can find your breath. You can find your breath with your attention. It's there, undeniable. So if it's there, then the you that you feel to be must be there too, right? So use the attention, find it. We turn attention back. Where does the attention come from? What is looking at this video? Turn it back. What are you? And you'll see that your thinking can't go there. The story doesn't make it there. So then what are you? This is kind of a weird thing to say, but you've never done anything ever. Because the doer you think you are, the person, is simply thinking. It's a construct of thought and opinion and stories. And why is this important? It's important because this little entity that we feel to be is an individual being pushed down and pushed around by a big, bad external universe. And so it suffers. It worries. It has a social status it needs to uphold. It needs this amount of likes and subscribers on Instagram or whatever the social media stuff is. It's always trying to change itself. And it's never satisfied. This is why the Buddha said that life is unsatisfactory. A lot of people think dukkha means, because he says life is dukkha. Dukkha means unsatisfactoriness, not suffering. Life is unsatisfactory. This little me, this little you, is always unsatisfied, wanting more, needs to do more. So we get stressed. And we don't recognize the happiest moments of our life is when this little person isn't there. You're in a flow state. You're watching an amazing movie. Where are you? You lose yourself. And you're just in the movie. You're in the project. You're looking at a sunset and it's just gorgeous, but there's not a you. In a moment, if you pay attention, when you see a beautiful sunset, there's this, if you turn, where is that? It's just the sunset. Now, of course, I know this might be a little confusing, and I've been talking about this theme for the past few days, but it's important. So if you have any questions about what I talk about here, feel free to comment below. I answer all questions thoroughly. And I also post a video like this every single day. So if you're interested in starting a meditation practice or continuing one that you've already started in the past, join the Attentive Mind. I'm here to share just meditation, nothing spooky, nothing spiritual. Just practice, no beliefs. Finally. Thank you for your time today. Thank you for showing up for your life. And I'll see you tomorrow.